My name's Eleanor Vose and I'm a firefighter for the London Fire Brigade. From an early age, I knew that I wanted to be part of something and have almost a second family and have support from somewhere else. And I definitely knew I didn't want to work for somebody to make them richer. The watch structure on a fire station is so much like having a second family or just more friends. We are all the same and we deserve to be treated the same to a certain extent. And I think that when you're treated unfairly, it breeds contempt and nastiness sometimes. And I think if you're all working for a common goal and you are treated the same, you can do that much better. Because I think a lot of people are racing to get to the top or be the boss's best friend. And on a fire station, I don't think we have that. I think we join the job to ride fire engines predominantly. And this is where the heart of the brigade is, I still feel, and it's still a great heart. I knew I wanted to be a firefighter from quite young, and it's typically not none of my girlfriends wanted to do that job, but nobody said to me, you can't do that, that's a boy's job, or that's not for you. It was like, oh, brilliant, that's going to be amazing. So I think that kind of inspired me that there was no barriers to my life, and they exposed me to lots of things from an early age and allowed me to experiment in different hobbies and activities, and yeah, just allowed me to be. Years ago, I was driving the fire engine and we pulled up aside a bus, and there was a man driving the bus, and he was absolutely flabbergasted that not only was one driving a fire engine, there was a woman on the back as well. He was absolutely blown away. But that just makes me smile. That just makes me feel like I should be really proud of what I do. And, you know, there are still people that think, you know, oh my God, there's women in the fire brigade or doing stuff. But I just feel like, yeah, and that's me. You're seeing me, that's amazing. It's funny because whenever I'm in new social gatherings, if there is a friend of mine there, they always say, this is Ellie, she's a firefighter. Like it's the best thing that I've ever done. I grew up watching Fireman Sam, and there wasn't a girl in Fireman Sam. They were all boys. But I never saw that as a barrier of I couldn't do that. Same as London's Burning, I grew up watching that quite a bit, and there was only ever one or two girls in that, but they weren't my favourite people on the show. They weren't necessarily who I thought, I'm going to be her. I just thought, I want to be a part of that. One, getting the job. I did that all by myself. I decided I really wanted to do it. The time was right. When I was 22, I think I started applying. So getting to training school and being given this uniform, I was like a kid at Christmas. That's amazing. Probably the proudest is that people warm to me and I'm sort of well liked. Belonging. I think that's still really what I love about coming to work and having real good friends here. When you apply for the job, there's a very strict process to go through, including interviews and work-related tests and math tests. And I thought I was quite fit at the time. However, I had never really done any running, and there's a running test. And so I worked so hard to get that fitness test absolutely down. Right before my running test, like the morning of, I spoke to somebody on the phone who I really shouldn't have spoken to and put my head in totally a different space. So I went to my running test and my head was somewhere else. and I absolutely messed it up, and I was so angry with myself. Luckily, I got another chance to do it, and I had to, pull it out the bag. And it wasn't a physical thing; it was a headspace thing. And I think that that's what you do have to overcome for this job is your headspace. Since I've joined the job, although I'm very outgoing and I'm very independent, having self-belief that I can do stuff, that I am good enough to be here, that I do deserve to be here. Sometimes I have to really remind myself about that, I can do those things. Look at where I've come from to get here. Rely on me, back yourself. You can do it. That's probably the hardest things that I struggle with, because I think people think she's an extrovert, but unbeknown to them, I'm struggling sometimes inside. Even doing something like this is quite daunting for me, although I'll hold court upstairs for a good half an hour and won't shut up. So before 20s, maybe I needed to probably stick up for myself a little bit. I did have a really hard job, and I loved it, but it was so hard, and a couple of times I think I should have said absolutely no. So probably that I would have said, be the person that you are now, maybe a little bit sooner, that it's all right to say, I can't do that. Some people are, I think, too frightened to upset other people by saying I can't do that. So I think that was probably what I do when I was quite a lot younger. It's all right to just say no, and I can't fulfil that. I can't do that for you. Believe in yourself. I say it all the time, the world's your lobster. If you rely on you, believe in you, don't let anybody say that you can or can't do anything, and don't spend so much time on social media. Yeah, just don't believe in all the social media. It wasn't prevalent when I was younger, and I do think now it's so hard to grow up. It's so hard because you've got these perfect images of people and their lives, but remember that people only post what's perfect. So yeah, I think absolutely believe in yourself, rely on yourself, work hard, laugh.